I have a confession to make. I find prayer really hard. Now, for some of you, that will be astonishing. You love to pray. But for others, I hope that will be a massive relief. Because you've always had this nagging thought that everyone else finds prayer easy except you. Now, I love to pray with other people or with my wife, but it's the go to your room and close the door bit that I find really tough. But I have found some help in recent years by giving myself permission to be me. The fact is that some of us are morning people, like Jesus. In Mark 1:35 it says, very early in the morning Jesus went off to a solitary place to pray. Others of us are evening people, like King David. In Psalm 63 verse 6 it says, I think of you, Lord, through the watches of the night. The key is to be yourself. Some people are introverts and are energized by being alone. Others are extroverts, energized by being out and about. I've always been really restless as a person. All of my school reports used to say, James just can't seem to sit still. And so it's no surprise that I find praying quietly quite difficult. And then I heard a well-known speaker talk about having the same problem. And he talked about discovering the power of prayer walking. He said, I found I can pray as long as I can walk. So I tried it, and it worked. The secret is to find what works for you. At the end of Acts chapter 2, we have this wonderful picture of church life at its purest. It says that the early Christians devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to fellowship, to breaking of bread, and to prayer. They ate together with glad and sincere hearts. The word sincere comes into English from Latin. Back in ancient Rome, traders used to sell little pots in the marketplace, much like they do today. And before the days of mass production, sometimes they would make a mistake and there'd be a little chip in the pot and they would cover it up with a bit of wax and hope that no one would notice. But a master craftsman who wanted to show that he only sold perfect, flawless work would write outside of his shop two words, sin cire. Sin without, cire wax. His work was sincere, without wax, without cover-up. And I believe God wants us to come to Him today with sincere hearts, without cover-up, without pretense. And He will receive us just as we are. C.S. Lewis put it beautifully when he said, I pray because I can't help myself. I pray because I'm helpless. It doesn't change God, it changes me. I love that. I want to close with a story from the Chinese pastor, Brother Yun. He wrote that book, The Heavenly Man. You may have read it. And in his second book, Living Waters, he talks about when he was sent to prison for preaching the gospel. And he said that every prisoner was given a job to do, and the worst job in the prison was to dig out the cesspit. The cesspit was where everything ended up. The remains from the drains, from the kitchens, yes, even from the toilets. And Brother Yun volunteered for that job every day. And he said what they didn't know is I loved to do it. Because it was such a stinking place and because it was such a filthy job, no one would come near me. And so for the only time that day I was able to pray out loud and sing hymns at the top of my voice. And I would sing, I come to the garden alone, when the dew is still on the roses. And He walks with me and He talks with me. And He tells me I am His own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. So whatever situation you're facing today, may you live in the grace of today, knowing that as you draw near to God, He will draw near to you. God bless you.